Thank you for listening to the Pull It Back podcast. Now here are your hosts, Mike and Andy.
Thank you for listening to the Pull It Back podcast. I am Mike, your host, with my co-host Andy.
Hello.
And he is in studio, and I am also here in studio with my wife, Carissa.
Hello.
So I wanted to start the show off with minivans.
Minivans.
So minivans are supposed to be these like family, super safe, people carrier.
The pivotal soccer mom.
Yes. So they're not, though. They're actually one of the most dangerous vehicle classes on the planet.
Really?
Yes. So as far as safety, like safety ratings go, yeah.
Like IIHS safety ratings?
Yeah, like they're not like they could be 5. I think actually in 2018 there's only 2 minivans that were actually 5-star.
Which ones were those?
The 2018 Kia Sedona and the 2018 Honda Odyssey. Those are the only 2 vans that had a 5-star rating.
Wow.
And there's many a van on the market.
Minivan. Sorry.
Minivan.
Oh. Do go on.
Well, so I was looking into this, and there's been a lot of like vans back in the day, like you were saying, the Aerostar. And what else was there?
Like the Astro.
Yeah, the Astro, the Windstar.
The Odyssey's been around forever and a day, too, though.
Yeah. The Honda Odyssey's been around, and they usually get pretty good ratings and scores. But as of lately, I mean, think about it. Toyota, I think, is it the Sienna?
Yes.
So the Toyota Sienna minivan.
There's the Dodge Grand Caravan.
Dodge Grand Caravan got actually really poor ratings.
Well, Dodge is not renowned for getting high crash rate.
Yeah.
All of their vehicles across the board are just, I think they're marginal at best on IIHS crash ratings. And the IIHS is like the bellwether for which cars are good, because they are the only ones that do the head-on offset collision, which is apparently the most likely accident.
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened to Carissa.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was what was it? What is it? Not because I know the new test is a small overlap, which a lot of cars failed.
Right.
At first.
Right.
Even the 2015 Ford F-150 failed that with the small overlap with the extended cab because they weren't really prepared for it.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of them came back and were like, "Oh, okay," because the problem was that the wheel actually encroached into the cab.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So a lot of these car companies came back after redesigning these vehicles and say, okay, we can no longer have these wheels coming through the firewall into the cab.
Yeah.
So a lot of the companies came back and were like, okay, and they redesigned it like Ford got good overall rating.
Yeah. Because they did it. Well, the cool thing about that, like that story with the F-150, is they did it the following year.
Right.
So they made improvements and then put it in the next vehicle instead of waiting, until the next generation of vehicle.
Exactly.
And that's what Dodge Caravan and the Chrysler Town and Country, the equivalent of it is.
Yeah.
They did the exact same thing, but they've waited and waited and waited, and they're like, all right, well, now we have the small overlap, and then they got poor ratings on, I think, side impact and the small overlap.
Mm-hmm.
So moderate overlap, which is like a quarter of the car, I think it is. Or is it half?
I think it's half.
So half. Yeah, because a quarter is small. So the moderate overlap, they actually got pretty good ratings across the board because that's been a test for a while. But so, I mean, long story short, if you're in the market for a minivan, the 2018 Kia Sedona and Honda Odyssey are the only ones that got a 5-star rating.
Or just stick with an SUV like I would.
Like a normal person would.
Yes.
Well,
because they look cooler too.
They do look a lot cooler. I mean, you can't show me a minivan that you're like, damn, that looks good.
I know.
No.
Like no one ever says, oh my gosh, that van looks so sexy. I want one. That never happens.
Yeah.
No.
No.
You're driving down, and every time you see a van, you don't think, "Oh, that's sexy." You think that guy has given up.
Yeah, they always have just dead eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes back to the car cliches where like who's driving the minivan? It's always the lady with the asymmetrical bob that she's definitely calling the manager first of all.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And no matter how good your service is, she's like, "Can I speak with the manager? Do you see my minivan with my 17 unruly children in the
with
parking
all
lot?"
the stickers on the back of the window?
Oh, yeah. But the little family stick
figures. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video of the dude? It's like some kind of like little meme, and it's like an accident or something, and he's like, "That's my family," and it's got the whole family stickers on the back, and he just slowly peels off one of the kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh, that's horrible.
I saw the one where I think you sent it to me, where it was like the Star Wars one, where it was like what was it? It was Princess Leia and Darth Vader were the dad and mom, and then it had like the kids and stuff, and I was like, if you know Star Wars, you would know that that's basically the dad.
Yeah.
Doing his daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Princess Leia and Darth Vader, yeah.
All right. Anywho.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a little nerd fact.
Yeah, that's a little incestuous nerd fact.
Okay, anywho, moving on. So I was looking up topics to discuss since this is my first podcast ever and with you guys, and I'm very excited. And one of the things that kind of caught my attention was things you shouldn't say to a cop who pulls you over for speeding. And even though I was never pulled over for speeding, I think I've been pulled over like 3 times, and it was because either a light was out, like there was a light out on my rear license plate, or my registration was expired by like a month.
Your light was out on the license plate?
Yeah, the rear license.
Yeah, you have to have an
plate.
illuminated license plate in Texas, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's everywhere.
And I got pulled over like a street away from my house. It's like, yeah.
I told you Chelsea got pulled over just the other night. Coming home from dinner, we were turning on a road that takes us right to we were less than a mile from our house. Mm-hmm. She got pulled over speeding.
Well, I have never gotten pulled over for speeding, I am proud to say. But when I was pulled over for having my rear license plate light out, the officer, like this was way before I met you, I think. But when the officer pulled me over, I was like, oh, hey, he's kind of cute. And so he had me step out of the car, and he was like, is there anything that I should be aware of in your vehicle? And I was like, oh, you mean other than the dead body in the back of the trunk?
Good call.
And I know. And there was just nothing. And I was like, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Okay. So
that's one thing that you shouldn't say to a cop when you get pulled over.
Correct.
Yeah. So like, does it smell like weed in here?
Oh my gosh.
Like, hold my beer.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, you need me to sign that ticket? Hold my beer for a second. I think one of the worst things to say. I saw you playing Pokemon Go today.
I love Pokemon
Nerd.
Go. I've been playing Pokemon Go since it started, son.
Well, that was always like a dream of us.
Oh my God.
Nerds.
Do you remember when Pokemon cards first started getting popular, and you and I would ride our bikes down to the 7-Eleven, right down when you lived on Eisenhower in Killeen. We'd ride our bikes down to 7-Eleven with any money that we'd find or get for doing chores.
We found so much money back then. I don't know how we found so much money.
I don't know.
Like, just find it. Like cash laying on the floor.
$1.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been years since I found $1 on the ground. But we would go and take all of the money we'd ever find or earn from doing chores or whatever and go to the 7-Eleven and buy as many packs of Pokemon cards as we could possibly get. Mm-hmm. And what were we after?
Charizard. Baby.
And I'll never forget, Auntie Amy was like the first one. We'd always have her open our packs because she always got the best holographics. You're like, well, I got a Charizard. I was like, you son of a bitch.
No, that's not how it went.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. You got Charizard
gosh.
first.
No way.
Yes.
Are you sure?
I am absolutely positive.
Because I remember she opened a pack and she was like, what is this? And you were like, oh my God, it's a Charizard.
No, it was like a Blastoise.
Oh, but that was your favorite Pokemon.
That was my favorite
so
Pokemon.
You were
but
pumped.
everybody was after Charizard because it was like the best card.
Yeah, it had the most hit points.
she bought us like these like boxes full of cards.
I know.
And so like we were opening pack after pack after pack, and then I'm sitting there like just like please, and then I look up over you and you go, oh, I got a Charizard, and you show it to me and then look back at it, and I was like, no.
But not even like 2 days later, your mom was opening a pack. She was like, and she slowly turns it around. She's like,
look what I got.
You were like,
yeah, like a couple days later, we both had Charizard, and I was like so ecstatic.
Yeah, so like, and I mean, we even played the card game a couple of times.
Yeah,
most people just collected it. We were extra nerds. We were playing the actual Pokemon game, and when Pokemon Go came out, Chelsea, my wife, was the one that actually told me about it. She's like, Dre, come check this out. I was like, what? What is it? She's like, they're bringing out this Pokemon game. I was like, Pokemon game? Like on the Game Boy? She's like, no. It's going to be like an app. And she showed it to me. I was like, this is my dream.
This is childhood.
Yeah, this is my childhood right here. Because you and I would always be like, oh, what if there's like this over here in the bush?
Yeah. It's like, now it's real.
Yeah.
But I came across an article, and it said Pokemon Go brings in $2.45 billion in revenue.
Billion?
Billion.
Oh, my God.
So $2.5 billion in revenue.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
That is ridiculous.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's probably from people buying Pokeballs, because I know I'm guilty of spending several dollars on Pokemon balls.
Me too. Yeah.
Like spending real money on in the game?
Real money.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, look how many people spend hundreds of dollars on World of Warcraft.
Is that even a thing anymore? Is World of Warcraft?
Isn't that where Bitcoin started?
I don't know.
I was under the impression that's where Bitcoin started.
I know that you can. I know people were talking about mining for Bitcoin, but I have no idea on how you actually mine for Bitcoin. Look that up real quick. See if
Google
Yeah,
it.
I don't know. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, because there for a while, Bitcoin was like worth stupid money.
And then it collapsed.
Well, our buddy Josh, he bought like 2 things of Bitcoin and ended up getting quite a bit of money out of it.
What?
Well, it says, is it legal to mine for Bitcoins? It says mining for Bitcoins is legal, but you're stealing the resources needed to mine them,
What?
which is illegal. Also, prosecutors in various countries, such as the United States and South Korea, have made it clear that they will prosecute people who use Bitcoin for illicit purposes.
So like buying children on the deep web is no good.
Yeah. It says cryptocurrency mining is painstaking, expensive, and only sporadically rewarding. Nonetheless, mining has a magnetic draw for many investors. I don't understand that.
Weird.
It says, what is Bitcoin mining? This is the answer to the question.
Okay.
By mining, you can earn cryptocurrency without having to put down real money for it. That said, you certainly don't have to be a miner to own crypto. You can also buy cryptocurrency using fiat currency, which is U.S. dollars, euros, shit like that. You can trade it on an exchange like Bitstamp. So basically, mining for Bitcoin is essentially buying Bitcoin on credit.
I don't know. I pictured like a little pickaxe in
That's what I pictured.
Like, yeah.
It says you can even earn it by playing video games or by publishing blog posts on platforms that pay.
Well, that kind of
users.
answered your question a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like the
Playing
World of
video
Warcraft
games,
thing.
yeah. So maybe, or like Minecraft or something.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's strange how Bitcoin mining is. We're gonna have to do an episode on that. Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, yeah,
Nice.
it's interesting.
Make Bitcoin great again.
Stop that.
There was a person that got their asses whipped, bro, wearing that hat. Like they had it was like supposed to look like a MAGA hat, but it said "Make Bitcoin Great Again," and they were at like a rally and somebody beat the shit out of them because they didn't read the hat.
Wow.
Yeah, they just assumed it was "Make it great."
Talk
great
about
again.
jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, that's the current climate.
Can't even wear a hat. Yeah, here in Austin. We're in the land of beating the shit out of people for wearing MAGA hats.
Yes.
Yep.
So if you were looking at that Pokemon thing, man, yeah, $2.5 billion.
That's pretty cool.
550 million downloaded.
That's insane. Like I still like I enjoy the hell out of playing it. I think I have well over 3/4 of the the real Pokemon. Mm-hmm. The other generation Pokemon I don't give a shit about because
I don't know, the newer ones are so gay.
Yeah. You can't say that.
But sorry, they're fag.
Michael.
Rude.
I don't know which one was right nowadays.
Neither.
Yeah.
Oh.
The new generations, they have like a balloon. One is a balloon.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a balloon. They actually have a pile of garbage. I shit you not.
So that's a real Pokemon.
That is a real Pokemon.
What's his name? Trash.
I can't remember. But I was looking through, like, because Isabella's into Pokemon. Mm-hmm. And I was looking through, she got this little book of all the Pokemon currently out there. And one of them was literally a trash bag. And I was like...
Is it just hefty spelled backwards?
Lols.
I don't know. But I was like, I was blown away. I was like, geez, I think they're losing their creative edge with this stuff. They're like, guys, we're running out of ideas. What can we, how about
someone just looked around the room and they were like, oh, hey, a trash bag.
Yeah. They were a potpourri Pokemon. We'll call it Potpourri. And it evolves into...
Garbago. I don't know.
Garbago.
I don't know.
I was thinking it's like trash can spelled backwards because it's like, what is it? The snake spelled backwards?
Ekans.
Yeah, Ekans and Arbok is Cobra, whatever. I thought it'd be something similar to that.
Yeah. No. I was ridiculous. I closed the book.
I like my idea of Garbago.
Garbago. Hefty and Garbago.
It's like an Italian trash bag.
Yeah.
Garbago.
Mi scusi.
Well, I was watching this thing about strange addictions.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some strange ones out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a person that actually eats mattresses.
I'm sorry. What?
Mattresses.
Yeah, I think we talked about that briefly on one of the episodes. The pica disease, where like they're eating deodorant and like nails.
Oh God.
Eating all sorts of crazy crap.
Wow.
Like God, this one girl, what was she eating? Oh my goodness! It was like, cornstarch. I actually worked with a girl that was like eating spoonfuls of cornstarch. I was like, that is very unhealthy. Oh, she's like, no, it's good for being pregnant. I was like, that sounds like the worst wives' tale I've ever heard.
Yeah. That sounds like something that she might have found on Wikipedia that someone just threw in there just for shits and giggles. Like, this is...
cornstarch is good for menopause. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, let's see who the morons are that actually read this and do it.
Like the Tide Pod kids. Because they look like gushers.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, I was interested.
You were tempted?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they knew it was poisonous.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about 10-year-old kids who are influential, that easily influenced, they could be like, it does look like a Gushers, and then they bite into it, and that burst,
just soap,
and they're like,
like when we were kids, man, eating soap was a punishment.
Yeah, yep. That's what your mom stuck in your mouth for saying shit.
Yeah. Do it now, Mom. Shit.
Oh my gosh.
So I wanted to play a quick game. I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you a strange addiction. And I want you to tell me if it's real or not. I mean, all of them could be real, but these are the ones that we know of.
Okay.
A girl who is addicted to eating sand, real or not?
What do you think, Carissa? Sand? What do you think? I'm going to say that's real.
It is real. She says
she eats it
because so she likes the crunch. Well, you're sitting. You can see it.
I can pretend that I didn't.
She likes the crunch. It's got a nice texture.
Yeah, you can eat Captain Crunch for that. You don't have to eat sand.
I was just about to say you can eat cereal or celery. It's so much better for you. Not that I like celery.
Well, it's sterile, and she likes the taste.
Okay, I don't know if you've seen any of these yet, but I'm going to ask both of y'all again.
All right.
Okay.
This one is a woman who eats paint.
I believe it.
I think that's real.
Yeah.
It is real.
Oh.
She eats it because it's a thicker version of warm milk.
Warm.
Good
You know, I've looked at paint and I was like, that looks like pudding. I'm gonna have some. But then I was like, no,
it smells gross.
Yeah.
It smells bad. But I was like, that looks like pudding. I would like some of that. And then my mind's like, you can't eat that, you idiot.
Yeah.
So, all right, this one is a lady who eats tires.
I don't think that one's real because it'd probably be really hard to bite into a tire.
Yeah, like, what would she do? Boil it down so that it becomes chewy? Like, I don't know.
I'm not sure how she does it, but it's real.
What?
Yeah, she likes to chow down on rubber tires.
How the hell?
How does that addiction even start?
Well, this was actually on the TLC show, My Strange Addiction.
Really?
But again,
Yes.
how does that even start? Like,
yeah, like, how do you...
was she looking at her kids' toys and was like, oh my gosh, that looks like an Oreo. I'm going to eat it. And then she, like, what? No.
I mean, I can kind of see, because I like chewing on certain things because I like the way it feels on my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Like straws, like when you chew on a straw.
Or like pen
and you
caps
go,
or something.
and it kind of, I don't know, it's just like a nice feeling on your teeth when you're chewing on it. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
But does she actually, like, bite and, like, try to...
Ingests it.
Like she takes a fork and knife and she cuts it like a nice porterhouse and she's just like...
I can only assume she chews on it for hours.
So it's like a
Days.
steak
And then
from
just
Logan's
swallows
Roadhouse?
it. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. I'm going to give you 3 examples. You tell me which one is true.
Okay.
So this is dealing with cat ladies.
Oh, boy.
Cat ladies. Okay.
So a cat lady owns 100 cats.
Yes.
A cat lady that eats only cat food.
Oh.
A cat lady that eats cat hair. Which one of those 3 are true?
I'm going to say they're all true.
They are all true.
I knew
my
it.
gosh.
Those cat ladies are crazy bitches, man. Damn.
Ooh, she's licking it. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
She's
there's
licking the
a
cat.
gif of her licking the hair off the cat.
Have you ever seen those brushes that you can buy that you can actually put on your tongue? Like
what?
for cat owners?
A brush?
A brush. I've seen it several times. You can order a brush.
Oh, kind of like those finger
Yes,
things
but
you
you can put
brush
it on
your
your
teeth with.
tongue and clean your cat with it. See,
Oh, my God.
Carissa, you and I were talking about how weird cat lovers are.
Yes. Yeah.
Cat lovers are always so weird, and they're trying to sell you on cats. But I'm just here like, you realize your cat will eat you when you die. If you die in your house and nobody finds you, your cat's going to eat you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your dog's not going to do that. They're
Nope.
going to be super sad.
Oh, yeah.
We had that conversation where we were like, when do you ever see a cat like actually sitting by their owner's grave?
Or when do you see a cat like jump up and down and say hi when you come through the door?
Yeah, like when you come home from work.
Yeah.
Never.
Never. They'll be on the counter, look at you, and like push a glass off the counter. And you're like...
Or they look at you and then they're immediately disgusted and then they just turn their head away.
and
Or they'll
show
take
you
a
their
big
butthole.
fat
Yes.
stinky dump in your shoes
Yeah.
Or on your pillow.
Yep.
or on your pillow.
Personal experience.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so I have another one. There's a woman who's addicted to gasoline, right?
Like drinking it?
No. Yes. So she carries it around in a water bottle.
Oh my God.
Yes,
That
and
would-
sips it, and then also smells it all day.
No, there's no way that's real. She'd be dead.
This was also another episode on TLC.
Seriously. She
Okay.
drinks gas.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Smelling gasoline. She said, I'm addicted to smelling gasoline.
I was going to
Okay.
say, well, a lot of people like the smell of
Yeah,
gasoline for
like,
some reason.
I
Not
knew-
like that. I mean, like off in a distance maybe, but not to the point where you're like carrying around a water bottle full of it and
Yeah,
then
that's-
putting your nose right up to it,
Well,
That's
I mean,
God.
everybody has those weird smells that they're just like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I went to what was it, middle school with a girl, and she said that her favorite smell was the smell of gasoline, and everyone just turned to look at her like, what is wrong with you?
Well, you know, that's pretty common because Chelsea's like, I love the smell of gas. I'm like, the smell of gas is bad. But I will say, you know, like a brand new pair of Chuck Taylors, like the gum sole, I like the smell of the bottom of the sole. Is that weird?
Weird, yes.
I mean, at least you're not smelling your shoe all day, every day.
I mean, not like all day, every day, but I do like the smell.
That's a pleasure. That's not an addiction.
Yeah, I like the smell of shoe stores.
Yeah, that's understandable. I like the smell of leather stores. Yeah.
Well, I like the smell of chocolate.
You're kind of showing where you come from there. You often go in to find yourself in leather stores?
Absolutely.
Michael.
So to finish this out.
We will talk later.
So finish this out. You want to read that one?
Oh.
The last one there.
What?
Number 10.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so. Oh my gosh. Okay, so number 10 is. Wait, are we still doing the true false thing?
No, there's no true or false.
Oh, okay.
About this.
Okay. So, I can't even bring myself to say it. Like, wow. Okay, this woman is addicted to sniffing and chewing dirty diapers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, chewing and sniffing. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking like face in it.
Full-on shitty diapers.
And then chewing on it.
That is disgusting.
I feel sick. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes.
How... You have to have a serious chemical imbalance in your brain.
Oh, I'm getting
to be
goosebumps.
Like, that diaper right there, I'm going to chew that sumbitch.
Oh my gosh.
That looks real good.
Oh my gosh, my stomach is churning right now. Okay, can we move on, please?
That's by far the worst one.
Oh yeah. That's also, these are all episodes on TLC.
Of course.
So, I mean, if you ever want like a really fun Saturday afternoon.
You know
if you ever want to feel better about yourself.
Yeah. Watch Hoarders and then a couple episodes of My Strange Addiction or My 500-Pound Life or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You know, TLC's got some real winners going on. You know, it's called TLC stands for the Learning Channel, but all you're learning is about how terrible people are.
Yeah, how terrible people are, how they can be, and how you can make fun of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Doomsday
in a professional
Preppers.
way.
Yeah, they're just making it easier.
They're about like Doomsday Preppers right up there with them.
Oh my gosh. Stop.
I like, yeah, I could go on that one. I like watching Doomsday Preppers because I just make fun of them.
I mean, there's some validity to what they're doing. I mean, I understand that they're scared, but some of them take it to a level that is borderline psychotic.
Yeah.
Obsessive.
Yeah, like they're spending $60. Like the dude we watched the other day spent like $60,000 or $70,000 on preparing his little shitty house for an earthquake that probably will never ever happen.
Yeah, there's not going to be an earthquake that's going to shatter the entire city.
Well, they were basically saying it was going to split the United States in half.
Yeah.
And cut off their supplies. I'm like, really? I was like, when's the last time we had a massive earthquake on that fault?
Split a country in half.
Yeah, it was
not going to happen.
What was it called? The New Argentina or something fault? I can't remember the name.
Oh, I don't know.
It's not the well-known fault. It's like the one that
like
runs
the San
through
Andreas
the Midwest.
One. Yeah, it's the one that runs through like Tennessee, Kentucky, stuff like that.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I mean, I'm sure there've been earthquakes there, but not on this magnitude.
It's not going to cut the country in half. Look at how strong those earthquakes have been, like in Japan.
Yeah.
And the country's still intact.
Yeah, but it fucked up Fukushima.
Yeah, I mean, it can screw up some cities for sure, but I mean, that's not going to happen here, man. So that's kind of stupid. But some of them are like, like economic collapse. I understand that one, but
I mean, honestly, I don't even understand the economic collapse one. I mean, it would happen, but on the scale of mass rioting and all that shit.
Yeah, it's like the worst that would happen is like a couple million people will lose their jobs, and it's like people are fighting for money, but then it rebounds. It always does.
Well, the thing is, what if it doesn't? But
you better start foraging.
I don't think it's gonna. Huh?
So you better start foraging for food. Get some nature valleys.
And then the Doomsday Preppers are gonna be like, "You laughed at me on your podcast." I doubt they'd listen to our podcast.
Yeah,
Probably
they're too
not.
busy digging soil up or whatever.
Yeah, big dilt. I do want to build a root cellar though. I think that'd be pretty cool.
What's a root cellar?
A root cellar is where you basically just dig down in the earth, and it's your cellar. It keeps everything, at like I think it's a constant like 50 degrees or something.
Oh, it
like
just
that.
keeps everything
cool. Yeah, it's like natural refrigeration.
Oh.
So like, that's kind of like my plan to go if shit does hit the fan, like zombie apocalypse type thing. I'm heading to Montana. It's like
ain't nothing gonna survive up
low
there.
population, very cold winters. I mean, the only thing you have to really worry about is the wildlife, like bears and shit, and the super duper cold winters.
Yeah,
but natural refrigeration.
That's what I'm saying.
So you can keep,
and there's plenty of wildlife to kill.
Yeah,
to
you
eat,
can keep you can keep your meat fresh and
plenty of clean water.
And
exactly.
I'm willing to bet that there are more guns than people in Montana.
Yes,
I think that's an actual statistic.
It is a
really.
statistic, yeah.
Boom!
Nice.
Yes.
Dropping facts.
Yeah.
Get
Didn't
your
even
umbrella.
know it. Didn't even know it.
Speaking
Get
of
your
umbrellas,
because I'm raining facts.
have you guys seen the show on Netflix? I've been really hot on Netflix lately. Have you watched the Umbrella Academy?
I have not.
That is a great show.
I want to wait until there are more seasons out because I hate waiting for another season
that does
to drop.
Well, I'm a pretty impatient person, so I'm gonna watch. Yeah. I'm gonna watch it immediately, and it was an excellent show.
It's definitely on my watch list.
You should just go ahead and do it. Just do it.
No, I want to wait. Like I won't start a show.
Delayed gratification is overrated.
I won't watch a show unless there are at least 3 seasons of it.
So you can just sit there all day.
Pretty much.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But also Altered Carbon. That's another one of my favorite shows.
That's also on my watch list. Yeah.
Is there a season 2 for that yet?
I think it's confirmed.
I know they're not bringing back the same guy.
The same guy is not going to be. I think it's going to be a black gentleman. Yeah. That's doing it. I think my wife might have mentioned it was Idris Elba. The most handsome black man who's ever lived. So smooth.
Oh my gosh, that is a man right there.
Yeah.
Oh my
They were talking about making Idris Elba the next 007. I was like, and a lot of people were pissed. Yeah.
Why?
Because they're shitty about it. And I was like, please.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I was like, I would love to see Idris Elba as the next 007 because he's the
perfect.
smoothest dude ever.
Like, he's just the epitome of suave. Like,
he is.
But, okay, I know that, Michael, I know that you're not a huge fan of Trevor Noah, but Trevor Noah has, I don't remember what little deal on Netflix it was, but he mentioned that Idris Elba becoming the next 007, and he was like, think about it. I mean, it's a really cool idea, but James Bond always goes to these European countries where it's like white people. So anytime that 007 James Bond would have to, disappear into a crowd, Trevor was saying it would be so easy to find him because even if you put a headscarf on, like just look at his hands and then, found him. Oh my gosh, how did you guys find me? No, like just constantly running and like, oh my gosh. So that's what that.
I don't know. I think it would be pretty badass to see him.
He would be so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he would be awesome as 007.
He's an amazing actor. Oh my gosh.
You doing all right over there?
Yeah, no, I'm just
having a little bit of a crisis.
Leaning back.
No, I mean, he's okay. Coming from I was in theater, and so I know an excellent actor when I see one, and he is top notch. Like, oh my goodness. He's
first of all,
really, really good.
Nerd.
I know.
High tide.
What? What?
It's from a comedian, Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes?
Yeah.
Pete Holmes is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Low tide.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I wanted to talk about how China is creating an artificial sun, and it's supposed to be completed by next year.
Here we go.
We'll be right back. welcome back to the Pull It Back podcast. I am Mike, and I wanted to pick up where we left off. I wanted to talk about the Chinese artificial sun.
Okay.
So, apparently they're trying to work towards a fusion technology for energy. And I know, like, America's been trying to do that for a long time, too. They've been trying to get, like, the fusion energy. So it's supposed to be, like, renewable, and it's supposed to last basically forever. And it's, like, I think 70% efficiency.
Okay. So it's like what Doc Ock was working on in Spider-Man?
Yes. I know they were trying to harness the power of the sun. But they reached a milestone, and, quote, it says, they claim this device will be able to hit a milestone in ion temperature, putting us one step closer to harnessing the power of nuclear fusion. It's supposed to be at 100 million degrees Celsius.
Goodness.
Yeah, they use that, like, what is it, the Hadron Collider?
Oh, yeah.
To basically have these electrons
smash into each other to cause fusion?
Yeah.
Wow. So, how would they do something like that? Like, how are they just going to keep it contained in some sort of fusion reactor that...
Yeah, they heat up an electron to 100 million degrees Celsius, and then it starts fusing, just generating electricity.
Does science stuff, and then...
Yeah.
Weird, man. China is doing so much. I read something earlier, too, that they're talking about China's going to overtake us in AI technology. Yeah. So it's going to be Terminator pretty soon. It's like...
Yeah.
It's like... That is so crazy that they're working on all this different kind of shit, and they have that weird social credit stuff going on. Yeah, maybe it's producing smarter people.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying.
Lord knows we need smarter people in the world.
I'm telling you. Well, I don't know if we want them to be from China.
But I think China, I mean, they claim a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of it's theoretical, and they're like, yeah, we can fucking do that.
Yeah, we're one step closer, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and their government's like putting out all this press release, but like, we're definitely fucking doing this. But it's actually like the luminescence experiments that they're doing, the star in the jar stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? It's actually really interesting.
I remember you told me about it earlier today.
Sonoluminescence is like one of the more confusing things in science, apparently. Basically, they take these high-frequency waves, sound waves, they attach it to a small globe of water, and these waves go into the water, and they make a small air bubble. And when the air bubble explodes, it makes a literal star. It's at like millions of degrees Fahrenheit, basically the surface of a sun. Mm. So essentially what scientists have done is create a star in a jar, is what they're calling it, the star in a jar. And it's like an experiment you can do at home with the kids, like Bill Nye.
Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill.
But
so would they just shoot light into a jar of water or something?
No, sound waves.
Oh, sound waves.
Yeah, sound waves. So that kind of got me on this weird rabbit hole that I went down one day, and it was like and I was like, if they're doing that in water, could that mean that, space is some sort of fluid? And some scientists theorize that the galaxy or the space could be some sort of superfluid that waves flow through and make stars.
Yeah, I mean, well, we had this conversation where I was saying, like, because water is hydrogen and oxygen,
right? And
hydrogen is the most abundant, resource in the galaxy or in the universe. So,
right,
it could be.
I mean, how cool would that be? Like, these waves are just traveling through, chilling out, and then
a different type of medium that we don't even know about yet.
Yeah,
that'd be wild.
I mean, but think about it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
we're
out.
It's like, but what if space is some sort of superfluid? I mean, you can't breathe out there. There's no weight, so you're floating around. It's kind of like in water.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean,
I made similarities.
I made a pretty simplistic connection, but
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it's like, the idiot's version. But
well, it's a good way to, like, it's a good comparison. So, yeah.
I thought so. I mean, and the stuff that I read about it, it was like, yeah. I was like, so basically I'm a scientist.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that far. Just hold your horses.
Hey, you hush.
Hey, you hush. I will come over there.
Let me tell you something, theater nerd.
We are going to do a space and science podcast.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that because that is one of the more interesting subjects.
Yeah.
We're all going to have to eat some brownies.
The good brownies.
Little Debbie's?
No.
Oh.
Ew.
Homemade brownies.
Gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, Betty Crocker.
Yeah.
What was it that you wanted to bring up?
Okay, so there was, as I was, again, looking up topics for this podcast, okay, so at my former place of employment, I was the receptionist there, and I had this little, like, whiteboard, and I wanted to put something different up there each day. So what I ended up finding was basically holidays for each day of the year. And what I found today for March 18th is Awkward Moments Day.
Oh.
And I
oh boy,
am a very awkward person. So I've definitely had my share of awkward experiences. Some are okay for me to share. Others I would like to just completely forget. So I will start. I really shouldn't be telling this one, but it's the only one I can think of. When I was maybe like, I don't know, 7 maybe. I was going to I was enrolled at Round Rock Christian Academy, and we had to wear uniforms, and it was just this ugly polo shirt with like some skirt and shorts. It was horrible.
Sweet. Sounds
no.
hot.
What? Oh wait, no, that was just what I wore on my off days. So it was just a skirt.
Oh.
And there was one day I was sitting in the classroom and I was like, oh my gosh, Mrs. Bryan, I really need to go to the bathroom. And she was like, you need to wait for someone else to come back. Like they need to bring back the hall pass or whatever. And I was like, okay. And I was just sitting there in so much pain. And I was like, Mrs. Bryan, please. And she was like, okay, fine, just go. After I'd like begged her for a minute. But before I could even stand up, I farted. But the fart carried a little extra something with it. And I panicked. And I was like, uh-oh. And I ran to the bathroom. And sure enough, there was a little surprise waiting for me. And I was so embarrassed. I had no idea what to do. I didn't even think to just like kind of scoop the poop out of my undies.
God.
Like I didn't think to do that. I just like took off my underwear and I just threw it away. And I was like, I don't even care.
Well, that's usually what you do. You just toss them.
Yeah.
That's why you have underwear.
Yeah. So that was, yeah. And then I remember playing on the monkey bars that day and hoping and praying that one of my pervy little classmates didn't go like running underneath me as I was on the monkey bars. And then I immediately dropped down because I was like, I'm not even going to take that chance.
Nice. That's pretty awkward.
Yeah. It's very vivid.
Oh.
Still fresh in my mind.
So you pooped your drawers.
Yes. When I was like 7. Unlike someone I know, Michael.
I pooped my pants like 3 days ago.
Yeah. And I was there to witness it.
Oh, shit in our pants is a monthly occurrence. If we don't shit our pants once a month, it's not a good month.
Oh my
We are
gosh.
grown adult men, and we shit our pants regularly.
You know,
Yeah,
I've
Michael,
made an
you're
adult
almost
decision
30.
and decided to start taking wipes everywhere I go.
What I actually had to do, I think it was 2 Christmases ago, is as a joke, but also semi-seriously, there was something that I found on Amazon. It's like a little tin can with like a goofy little 1950s cartoon on it of a guy in a random cap and just underwear. And it's another pair of underwear in just like this tiny little tin can. And I got that for Michael.
It's an emergency pair of underwear.
Yes. And I make sure that it's in his backpack every day because I don't know when the next incident is going to be.
Me neither.
Yeah.
That's the fun of it.
Yeah.
We got to get a handle on our bowels, man.
I know. But, well, I mean, you push a little bit for a fart and then something sometimes follows and you don't expect it. And you're just like, oh.
Oh, yeah. And, oh, man. And there's no more a helpless feeling than being miles from your home and having shit your pants. I had a similar experience like that. I was on my way to work and...
How long ago?
Oh, several months.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So this is recent.
It's like, oh, I'm well into my 30s when this happened.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have a child, providing and stuff. But
I worry. For the world.
Like, my stomach was on the grumble, and I was like, okay, I'm going to stop. I got to pump gas. I'm almost to my location. I'll just shit when I get there. I was like, okay, I got to get gas. So I'm sitting there at the pump, and I was like, ooh! And I did the ass clench, and I started doing the weird waddle to the gas station. And I was like, oh. And it was just like, and I was like, oh, no. So I just continued. I didn't make eye contact with anybody. I walked into the bathroom, and of course, there was somebody in there shitting. So I had to wait. I had to wade in my shit for another 5 minutes.
You had to simmer and stew.
I had to stew in my
in
poo.
the mess of your own creating.
Yes. And I just stood there, waited my turn, got in there, and of course, it was a nightmare. So, of course, in that situation, you toss them. You just toss them. So I threw them away, cleaned up as best I could, went on my way. Luckily, my job was right next to a Walmart. So I went in Walmart, got myself a nice new pair of undies, and I was good to go for the rest of the day.
Oh, my gosh.
But yes, I was a 30-year-old man when that happened.
Nice.
Fully functional adult, and had a dangerous accident.
So were you just sick, or was it just...
No. Just... Oh, another good time. I was in a hotel room by myself.
Oh.
I remember getting pictures of that one.
What?
That was hilarious.
So, I was too busy throughout the day, and I was just, all I had time to do was eat sunflower seeds the whole day. So basically, that's all I had time to eat. I didn't go to lunch. Blah blah blah. I got back to my home room, my hotel room, and I was like, ooh, and I just tried to let this giant fart. But it was so forceful, it sprayed out on the back of my shorts. And it was nothing but sunflowers. It was like green and just chunks of sunflower seeds all into my shorts. I was like, oh, God.
Oh, my
and it
gosh.
was like the only pair of like shorts I had. Like at the time, I decided to go commando. And I was like, I won't bring any underwear. So... I had to sleep in hotel sheets in the nude.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
I thought I saw a picture of you. Weren't you drying your pants on a lamp or something?
Yes.
Was that the same incident?
That was the same incident.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
Because you had to wash your pants?
I had to wash my pants in the sink.
Oh, my God.
I was about to ask, was it in the sink or in the shower?
No, I washed them in the sink. And yeah, so I was drying them on the lamp.
They didn't have a hair dryer?
They probably did.
I'm sure they did. I just didn't think about it.
You're just like, I'm just going to put them on the lamp, I guess.
I guess I'll just put them on. I'll just be naked.
Oh, my gosh.
Rub my dick and balls all over these sheets that probably have weird shit growing on.
Oh, God. Stop that.
So.
Oh, my gosh. That's disgusting. So, Michael, I believe it's your turn to share.
Oh, he's got a million I shit my pants
Oh,
stories.
I know.
I got the best one is when I pissed my pants.
Oh, do tell.
This was in high school. I don't know, maybe sophomore, junior year, one of those two. And
I remember this.
And I was in math class, and I was asking to go to the bathroom. I was like, hey, teacher, I need to go to the bathroom. It's emergency.
Oh.
And he goes, well, you don't have any more hall passes because you only got like 1 or 2 per like half or semester, whatever the hell they call it. And so I was like, well, it's an emergency. Like I have to go. And he was like, well, I'm sorry, Michael, you just can't go. So I was like, if I don't, I'm going to piss myself right here in this classroom. And he goes, well, it looks like you're just going to have to wet yourself then. So I stood up in my chair. And I peed a little. And he goes, oh, my God, Michael, that's disgusting. Get out of my classroom. And I was like, I told you. And so I walked out and I went to the bathroom. On my way to the bathroom, I was like, you know what? I already got pissed my pants. I'm just going to go home. So I skipped the rest of the day for high school. And I went home and I was, in a full panic the entire drive home. And when I finally take the corner to go, like the last street to get to the house, I couldn't hold it and I let loose.
Oh.
Well, why wouldn't you piss before you left school?
Seriously.
Well, I was like, I need to get the hell out of here. I don't know. I was like, I need to go. I need to go home. I have pissed in my pants and I don't feel right. So I was just like, I'm just going to go home. I'm going to clean myself up. Because I peed a little, so I was like, all right, I'll be all right. But then by the time I got to the car, I was like, ooh, this is going to be a photo finish. And I didn't beat the shot timer.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
It was soaked. I soaked those jeans.
What about the car seat?
The car seat was soaked.
I remember.
What material was the car seat?
Like velour.
That was in your little Focus.
Yeah, 2000 Ford Focus.
I remember that. Yeah, because I was at home. I was at your house, and you came barreling into the house. I was like, what the hell was that? And you were like, I gotta piss. And you walked into the room, and I was like, what the hell? And you came back, and you're like, dude, I pissed
so much
in my seat.
That was the most pee I have ever had. Easily.
Wow. Thanks for sharing.
Like, our teachers were real assholes about going to the bathroom. Because I was in, like, home ec class. That's a pretty old thing. I was in home ec class. I was like, Miss, I have got to go to the bathroom. And I had to shit something fierce. And she was like, well, you're just going to have to wait till the end of the class. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. And I left. I literally said, fuck this. And I left. And she's like, you can't go. I was like, watch me. And I dipped out, went to the bathroom. As soon as I pulled my pants down, I started to shit. And
your ass didn't even hit the toilet
Didn't even
seat.
touch the toilet.
Oh.
I didn't even have a chance to sit down, and I sprayed the back of the wall. It just went.
Oh,
and
good
I was like,
Lord.
oh. It was painful. And then, I cleaned up. I wiped my ass about 8 million times. And I just, at that point, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to wait till I get home and clean my ass in the shower. So I balled up a bunch of toilet paper and just kind of put it in my underwear like a tampon or like a pad. Yeah, so shit wouldn't get in my underwear.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then I just I had one more class left, and then I was like, okay. And so I walked around with basically a diaper.
Oh my God.
For the rest of the day, and then went home.
That's disgusting. Same thing happened to me, but it was like in 6th or 7th grade. I had accidentally shit myself.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. And so I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. So I went to the bathroom and I went to go, I finished shitting. And then I was trying to clean out what I had. And I go to reach for the toilet paper and somebody had pissed all over the toilet paper.
Oh my.
The only toilet paper roll.
Wow.
Soaked it in piss. Oh. So I was like, what do I do? So then I had to, I was in between classes. So then I had to wait until everybody left. But there's still another person in the bathroom. So I was in there for a good half hour waiting for the person to leave. And then I jumped up with my pants around my ankles and ran to the next one. And then I went to go grab the toilet paper. That one was also covered in piss.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
What a bastard. Whoever did that was an asshole.
So I had to, basically, I had to peel a little bit of it off and then start unrolling it.
So
and just until I could get down to something dry, yeah.
Oh.
And basically by that time there was basically nothing left. So I was almost done cleaning myself, and I started tearing apart the piece of the cardboard.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, gotta be resourceful, man.
That is desperation.
And I ended up just flushing my underwear. So I was like, I'm not gonna be able to wipe that out.
Whoever did that, I hope their kids don't go anywhere in life.
There is a special place in hell for people like that.
Pissing. I never did that. I mean, I was a little shit. I was a shit in school, but I wasn't like, I'm going to piss on all the toilet paper rolls shit.
Yeah.
That couldn't have just been one kid either. That really couldn't have been. Unless he peed in a bottle
off and then was like,
or peed in a bottle or like multiple bottles and then just took all of them and like dumped them on each roll.
Or maybe he's just a really good pisser and just pissed on one, pinched it off, went to the next one, just pissed on that one.
Or he did it in 2 separate occasions.
Or that.
He's a freaking sociopath.
Yeah, he's probably in prison.
He's got to be. Nobody does something like that and then gets away with it forever.
We can't do the inequality thing. What if it was a girl?
It was in a guy's bathroom.
Who cares?
This was back when things were normal.
Bathroom. Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear, to kind of close it out, do you want to tell us your famous Nair story?
Ooh,
yes.
Yeah, getting on the subject of embarrassing things.
So we can get away from potty talk and talk a little more potty talk.
Yeah, we're going to get away from the shit and piss, and we're going to talk about butts.
So much cleaner.
So, when I was a younger gentleman.
How old?
Oh, shit. I was probably 17.
I knew it.
16, 17. And, I was getting to thinking, he's like, I'm an awfully hairy guy. I really don't like all these dingleberries and butt hair and just the chafing and it was just a forest of hair. Ew. And I was like, I'm pretty sick of this shit. So I took some of my mom's Nair, the chemical stuff that you put on your legs to chemically remove your leg hair.
Which burns.
Well, let me tell you. I was like, I want this hair gone. Maybe it'll get rid of it for a while so I don't have to shave it or, pull it out. I don't know. But I was like, okay, let me put some of this on here. So I was hovering over a mirror. I had a little a mirror that was detachable from the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And I was hovering over it and I patted the Nair on with my hands and I knew right away I'd made a huge mistake because it burned so bad. I basically gave myself a chemical burn on my fucking starfish. It was like it burned with the intensity of 1,000 suns. I up in my entire 17 or 18 years, I was like, what got you here, man? What made
How have you made it this far?
Why did you get to this point? What are you doing with your life? And dude, it hurt so bad. I was screaming in the bathroom. I was like, oh my God. Oh. And I got into the shower to try to get some relief. And I had my ass pointed up in the shower and turned it on cold water. And that made it so much worse.
Oh my gosh.
My asshole was red for probably 4 days.
Oh.
And it hurt so bad. Imagine a chemical burn on your butt.
Yeah.
Are you picturing it?
Oh,
That's
I'm
what it's
clenching. I'm clenching.
It hurt so... Well, I had a hairless ass for a while.
Yeah,
well, good. No dingleberries.
That shit was smooth. But...
oh my gosh.
Every now and then I think about it. I'm like, man, you had to have been the stupidest human alive at that point to be like, I'm going to put a chemical on my butt. That sensitive area that you're not supposed to go near with stuff like that? Fuck it. I'm going to put it there anyway.
It specifically says on the bottle to not to.
Yeah, I read it later. Yeah.
It was kind of like, I mean, you're not alone with your stupidity because I also shocked my nutsack with a dog shock collar.
Oh, we both did that.
What?
Well, I got Arby's out of it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
again, what?
Yeah. We were babysitting a dog, I think.
Yeah.
They were babysitting a dog, and they had a shock collar.
Dog-sitting?
Yeah, dog-sitting, whatever.
They had a shock collar.
They had a shock collar, and we took it off, and we were like, it had like a remote control and everything, like low, medium, high.
But before that, it was pretty the dumb little kids were like
shocking our necks,
shocking our nipples and our necks and our arms and stuff. And I was like, I will go buy Arby's for you if you shock your nuts. He was
with
like,
curly fries?
With curly fries, of course. And he was like, done. Like, he didn't question it. He was like, fuck yeah, I'm down.
So I put the metal prongs on my nutsack, and then Andy pressed the button.
A couple times.
Yes.
But.
And this is the man I married, folks.
Well, you're probably not going to have kids, so don't.
Yeah.
Well, I said that too, but I ended up having one, so who knows? Maybe shocking our nuts made our sperm more viable.
Yeah, they were just like, maybe it woke them up.
Woke-ass sperm.
My gosh. I am now terrified for our future children.
Yeah.
Thank you,
so
Michael.
We shocked our... What about that? Remember that abomizer or whatever it was?
Oh, yeah.
That little belt you put on your stomach and then it had like
vibrated or whatever?
No, it shocked the hell out of you.
It pulses a shot. Yeah. And Uncle Jim put it on his forehead. And his eyes rolled in back of his head.
Yeah, he put it on his forehead and it was like... He was like eyeballs rolled in the back of his head.
He had to like... And then he like threw it off of his head.
Oh, my gosh.
What the hell was that?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
That was a fun piece of equipment.
What did he think that would have... like?
He was just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, what did he expect to accomplish?
A seizure.
And he got it. Well,
wow.
All right, guys. Well, that is the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Pull It Back podcast, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Thank
Bye, guys.
you very much.